Let's talk about business funding. The people you're listening to are just completely. I mean, I'm looking at this stuff. This guy's got tons of. Is a truck driver giving business funding advice. He's telling you to buy business trade lines. And if anybody tells you to buy business trade lines, or you want to go get an NOPG with the business trade lines or whatever their corporation is, you need to buckle up and be prepared to be getting ripped off. Business trade lines do not post. The underwriter's seen them 1,000 times, and they're all over everywhere. And once they have one that even posts, 5,000 people go the same places and they all see them. And even if they didn't do that, when they see generic Joe Blow crap junk trade line, the bank knows, what is this crap junk trade line? And it gets thrown out the door, and it goes to the judgment of the owner of the business that's fake, and realize they can't run business because they buy fake trade lines and they're ignorant and they get declined. So do not buy business trade lines. I mean, the information these people tell you is retarded. When you look at them, they either dress in a suit like a clown and talk like Kamala Harris, or they're a fat slob and they drive a truck and they don't even know anything they're talking about. Listen to this load of bullshit. How he got his start. This is just an example of how stupid and retarded these people are. The guy takes a clip from a movie and says it's his life. These idiots don't even know what the hell they're talking about or anything. Nothing he says even makes sense. He doesn't know anything about business credit. He doesn't even know what the fuck he's doing. He's a restaurant owner and supposedly met Wolf of Wall Street moron, made up fictitious bullshit. This is so fucking dumb.
Freeman. She said, "You know what, Derek? You're doing pretty good for yourself." I said, "Thank you, brother. Let's come in and eat."
You believe this bullshit? What a liar.
He said, "You know what, Derek? You're doing good, but you're making pennies." I said, "Brother, you come into my restaurant, we eat, I feed you, and you insult me, we making pennies?" I said, "I'm not a hater, man. You know how long you know me, Derek." He says, "If you come with me next week, I'll show you how you make
known him a long time.
Drove up there, and I saw these Rolls Royces and these Porsches and Ferraris and Lamborghinis. I said, "Man, what is this?" She started smiling. He said, "You'll see." So I walked in, I went upstairs. I said, "Man, what's all these people in here on these phones?" I'm like, "Everybody's in these expensive suits and Rolexes and Cartier." I said, "What is this?" So the kid in front of me got the shirt rolled up. He's taking pictures on the phone saying, "If I don't get you in on this, you're going to be calling me up, cursing me up later. I need 125,000. So I can get you for 100. Don't insult me with 100,000 shares. I need 125. Yeah. I can lock you in for 125,000 shares. 125,000 shares. Yes, thank you, Ms. Kowski. You will not regret it. Okay, bye." Click. My friend Kyle's over there looking at me. I'm like, "Man, what has just gone on here?" He says, "That kid just got $20 million out of that man." I said, "How much does he get?" He says, 18%. My mind was blown. He was sitting there laughing at me. The kid was like, I said, "Man, I'm in, brother. When do I start?" He said, "This is your desk. That's why I brought you here." That was...
What a bunch of bullshit. If you believe any of that stuff, you're on drugs and deserve to get ripped off, and a corporation doesn't get a penny. Talk about retarded. These people come up with the dumbest shit I've ever even heard of. Oh my God. They don't even pay that kind of commissions, and that's a total lie. The whole story's a lie. Everything he says is bullshit. He doesn't even get any funding. It seems like all you people like to listen to bozos and clowns that get no money. Now, reality is, if you want to get money, you got to go to the person who knows how to do it and get the real money. And when you're listening to information about this and buying primary trade lines, aged auto primary trade lines, you're looking at all the high risk, high scammer profile stuff that rips people off. So I would hope you guys would assume not to be buying and being part of this stuff to where you're getting ripped off, because you're going to go backwards and nowhere. And they spend all these videos making this information and like UCC1 filings and all these other stuff, and they're like coming up with these keywords, and they like have secret information that's been around for like 40 years, and it's the same Oscar, Metro 2, yada yada yada, all this crap, and they think they can post zombie debt and stuff because now they've found out the new keyword and that you're supposed to send them money, and now that they have this keyword information that the normal average retarded zombie person out there can have bad debt, zombie debt turned into positive debt. You know, I've had debt collection companies. You buy it pennies on the dollar, and you can buy thousands and thousands and thousands of them. And there's big ones that have giant collection companies and all this stuff. And debt settlement is a huge scam. And no scenario, and no Twilight Zone, and no universe on the entire planet or any other fake space planet in the history of mankind can you take bad debt and take it over to somebody else and put it in their name and change it to be good debt. That just doesn't work. So all this information that you guys are being told, you got to look at the person. And one, I mean, if a person's a fat slob and wears just crap clothes anyways, it tells you that in general, studies have even been done on people that are out of shape and don't even take care of their body, have a higher tendency to have a low IQ, and that's a proven fact. Not trying to be mean, but it's a fact. But if you don't have any self-discipline, or you don't have no responsibility, no brain power, you have no success in life because you never accomplished nothing. Because everything is about self-discipline, and that determines how successful you are and how much freedom you're going to have because of what you can accomplish. But you're listening to bad information, so you're going to get nowhere. So their business hacks are constantly just wrong information in post all day long. If you want to buy a corporation, you got to have personal good credit, and then you build the corporation in a step-by-step strategic manner, and you don't make the wrong moves, and your personal credit has to be lined up in the right order in the maximum funding ratio. That means that I've said this a billion times. Nobody in the internet even knows it or even says anything about it because they're too retarded to know it. But everywhere you apply and every step you take, you have to get the full approval every time to go to that level, then go to the next level. Then you get into the corporation. Same scenario. So that's why I'm getting $1 million lines of credit round one for my clients. Literally. I get them 500,000 2 times, or I could get, 400,000 3 times, but I cut them off at $1 million the first round, and I get you set up in the right position to get that kind of money. But if you don't ever take the steps that even buying a real corporation that's not dissolved, not stolen, and hasn't been around the block, and not posted online to where it can be looked up and everybody's seeing it, and everybody buying all this other crap that's junk, the corp isn't going to get funded. And then you're going to go spend your money with all these people. And then after you guys get ripped off, everybody calls and says, oh, we got ripped off. I don't want to go with you. I don't trust you because I got a corporation and didn't get any money. Well, of course you didn't get money because you went with the wrong person. And you look at all the stuff that these other people are talking about, and you can't even judge them from the way they look to what they're saying. And I mean, good grief. The latest one, the dude's a truck driver, and it shows he backed up and broke out his window because he can't even hook up a trailer. I'm talking, these people are complete idiots. They're all brokers. It's all Amway because they're selling their corporation crap that's stolen. And like Amway, you got network marketing. You just get a bunch of retards reselling the junk. And it doesn't even matter about the funding. It doesn't matter about anything. So they tell you anything you want to hear, which is supposedly, the credit, the bag, and the tricks to build your corp, and, their bonics to talk to the masses about how they're making it big. When they're not making it big, they're just selling corps that don't fund and don't get any money. So all that stuff isn't working. If you really want to get funding, I've got primary posters on my videos on YouTube and stuff, or I'll look at your file personally and I'll direct you in the exact right path to get it, and we'll fix it, get rid of your inquiries and get rid of all the stuff that's not supposed to be on there and get you into funding. And if it's bad, 3 rounds of funding, or we could go from, if it's decent, 1 round of personal, or maybe 2 if it's not so decent, or if you want to get a personal guarantor. If you have a PG person that is pretty good, we could start out and fund them and then get yours repaired and then go back and fund yours and do it that way as well. But you have to start and you do things in a strategic manner and get funding done, because it's more about taking the right path and not doing the wrong moves. So if you really want to get funding, on top of all that, I teach everybody how to do a business and get their business off the chart and growing exponentially on its own with all the other things, and building you into the position you need to be on the success level. So everything has to line up and everything has to match. And you don't want to waste your money on all these services that don't show up and just take your money and don't go anywhere or set you backwards. You want business credit card funding. I mean, the credit card corporation is only going to go backwards, and the credit cards on a corporation is only going to match the credit cards on your personal. So it's kind of a waste of funding. If you really want funding, you want to get credit lines and loans. The bigger, the better. That's why ours are like $400,000 to $500,000 a line or a loan. That's round 1. Then it grows exponentially. So if you're trustworthy, you can make the payments, you can fund that much money every 3 months, or it'll double every 6 months if you're playing your cards right. But $1 million corp can make $4 million the first year. But you have to qualify and be a business-minded person and have a real business and make real money and be able to pull things off. So it's critical that you make the right moves and do the right things for funding. I could post a million videos on this generic stuff, but you want to hire somebody that knows what they're doing. So that's the thing. Yes, corporations get funding, but real businesses get the real money. So it can't just be a shelf corporation that's been dissolved and stolen, because it's not going to get anywhere. So you want to put everything together and then get into the real money. Everything has to line up. So we start out with credit repair, or we start out with your personal funding if it's weak file, or if you file strong and give straight to corporate credit, or you want to bring in somebody as your personal guarantor and we start with them. So fruitful facts of the amount of funding we've done in the past, and it's more than anybody on the internet. I mean, you're talking the largest amounts out of all the people combined. Nobody even has anything. If you add up all their funding amounts everybody's done, nobody even comes close to what we've got. How much money I've funded for people. So the choice is yours. You really want to have funding, or you want to just listen to a bunch of NASA propaganda and like post after post for view after view of just random, outdated information? Like they're talking about information that's like 30 years old, like it's brand new, like it actually works. Auto primaries, don't post. I don't care what you say, who it is, what they think, because like I've said before, you got to do a site visit, 1,000 file upload, and the bureaus call every single applicant on the list, or randomly call a lot of them. And there's no way all those people can pull that off, and it doesn't post. It never posts. It hasn't posted in like 8 years, and it's not going to post So these people are taking money for things that don't work. And they're telling you all these stories about how to build your credit, how to build your credit, how to do this for your credit, how to do that for your credit, how to build your corp, all this shit that isn't even really relevant or even work. How to fix your credit, how to do all these things. When all they do is make their money off their Amway stuff selling their stolen corporations. Yet, like the Globetard zombies listen to all this NASA fake space stuff, and they get off on all these fake satellite stuff, fake space stuff, fake all these new launch of a satellite, all this bullshit, all these fake ass pictures, fake ass all this shit, Star Trek crap that ain't even real, all the time, and they make 1 million views listening to stuff that's all fake. I mean, how dumb can a person be? Are you a business owner, or are you like a shelfcorp nerd wannabe retard that never graduated first grade and just a little flunky zombie listening to these little fanboys of these little kids or these people in clown suits that don't even have and never even had or never even got any real corporate money? The only people that have any, none of them have money. They have bling that's from their drug deals. They dress like shit. They talk like shit. They don't even know what they're talking about. And they're not getting any funding. They have no proof of funding. They have a car with their payment. And that wasn't even from the corporation. But yet they're specialists. And you all are going to go to them. Well, I make money off the funding. I don't make money off the views. I don't make money off paying for advertising. And I don't make money off of selling every single person on the internet like these idiots do. There's a big difference. So, you know, it's dangerous to not be able to know your surroundings and what's going on. You're like a little girl walking in a dark alley with a bunch of murderers and rapists and didn't even notice it. You're just not paying attention. And not knowing the truth from not the truth is the fastest way to lose money or get killed or just go backwards. So
Bob and Brenda had a huge problem with life because they had bad credit and could not get a house or a car until they were referred to Capital Cash. Now they both have $350,000 personal and $500,000 to start a business each.
Younger and you have self-employment history and you have the ability to be responsible and be self-disciplined and get shit accomplished, and you're going somewhere and you're not dumb and you want to make money and you really want to get the most money you can actually make and fund, then that's the type of client I want. But you notice a lot of people out there, and I've known some friends of mine that would never listen to me on anything, and they would just get ripped off over and over and over and over again. And some of the people are like the people that are constantly accident prone, where they actually get injured all the time or they get ripped off all the time because they're not paying attention to anything they do. They just roam around, they follow the crowd, they do what's being told to them, like they're brainwashed, and whatever is going with the flow, and they just always end up getting ripped off or in accidents or both, because they're the bad luck person listening to all this brainwash Kool-Aid, corporate brainwash Kool-Aid that is nothing to do with real funding and don't get any funding. So, I mean, I love to give you like thousands of pieces of stupid little hints and tricks, but the reality is that like you got to hire someone to guide you every step of the way, and it's a process, and it takes a little while to get things lined up, and once it's lined up, then everything falls into place. But if you want somebody to just give you like the security of like fake tricks and secrets all day long, every day, of stuff that doesn't even work just because you think you need some security or you're handheld on this credit stuff, it's going to end up bad because they're teaching you and selling you the wrong stuff and things that don't even work. And you're not even looking at it. If you have to have a massive amount of numbers of views and massive amount of posts and constantly do it and sell everybody or sell nothing but fake corps and not even talk about funding and have any proof of funding or get any percentage of funding, you're not doing anything because you can't fund. All the money is in the funding. Only charge 5% on the back end. It's the lowest out of everybody on the internet because I get the most money. Because it's about how much funding you can get a person. Anyhow, I just thought I would tell you guys that if you're interested in personal funding, or you're ready to go to business funding, we'll get you straight into that. Or you need the credit repair, we'll go from there and get things started. So my key is I build trust, I get you funding, get a lot of money, you can start buying businesses and buying other things. If you don't have cash in this economy right now, you're crazy because right now it's so easy to make so much money because nobody has cash. You can buy all these kind of cars and flip them and everything. I just did a whole final video on how to flip construction equipment. That stuff is so hot. You can buy all kinds of skid loaders, excavators, all these things, trailers, all these things, and you can rent them out, or you can set up find a construction crew and then pay you $200 a day for whatever equipment you have, or partner with them and make even more money. But there is so much money now on all these things you could be buying, not to mention you could be buying lots of guns because people run out of money all the time, and everybody walking around with they got guns all the time, and you just say you want to buy them, or you want to go buy them off the internet, or you want to trade for things, or there's so many things because so many people right now are hurting for cash. But if you got a lot of credit line and I give you a lot of money and a lot of cash, there is so much stuff you can do right now. It's insane because everybody, the average person, is crying about how they have no money, no cash, they can't afford this, they can't afford that. When all my clients are buying cars, buying real estate, they're buying malls, they're buying apartments, they're buying all these things, and cars and flipping them, equipment and flipping them, and all these other stuff. And it's so easy with the cash because when you offer somebody cash in this market, they're giving up everything to sell it because normal people can't buy nothing. Everybody's going broke and complaining about how broke they are. It's hilarious. And the more everybody's focusing on all the wrong info and all this misinfo and never getting any money, you're going backwards too. But you want to get cash, you want to make a lot of money, you got to have the real money to get it. So let me know if that's you and you're tired of listening to people and not getting where you want to be, and we'll get you the money you need and keep going. I have to have success by getting you the funding, and I make the percent off of that, and then I get you into commercial real estate, and that makes even more money. But it's two separate paths. You don't even need the corporate credit to use the commercial real estate. But if you're totally retarded and don't learn anything, you could have the corporate credit and use that money to buy commercial real estate. But the commercial real estate pays on itself. It pays out cash out up front, and we're closing in a week, which nobody else does that either. So that's some serious financial power and a lot of angles that people don't have, and you could get, well, unlimited results on what you want to do with your life. So anyhow, if you're a smart person, want to get real funding, give me a call. My number is 312-473-4163. Thanks.